Hello whiskey lovers and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings, and again we are not in the basement, no. There's a little Indian summer, even though it's October. I've got the summer, I'm out of the wind. Why not hop into the garden, settle down for a wee dram? And I thought that today I would take you all the way to the west coast of Scotland. There's this island, Islay, which is of course renowned for its 8 distilleries that predominantly make peaty whiskey, but they also have some non-peated whiskies, of course. Islay, one of the whiskies there, one of the distilleries there is Bruichladdich. Bruichladdich, or simply Laddie, as we say, has been around for quite a while. It was founded in 1881, and it's been around, but it has changed hands quite often. And it was not until 2000 that it was purchased by Mark Renier and a group of investors who then built up the reputation of Bruichladdich from the ground up. They did not have a blending contract, and that meant that all of the output had to go into single malt. That, alas, resulted in a range beyond comprehension. I mean, there were releases week after week after week after week. There was this plethora of whiskies being put out by Bruichladdich, and many Bruichladdich connoisseurs, many Bruichladdich collectors got grey hair because all of these bottles that were coming out, a rum cask finish, several kinds of wine finishes, arranged here, arranged there. It was almost incomprehensible. You could hardly get your head around the many releases. But now that Jim McEwan and his team have been in command of the Bruichladdich distillery for 10 years, they have finally been able to put out their first 10-year-old, their new flagship, the Laddie 10. So this is whiskey that's been produced since the new stewardship of Mark Renier, Jim McEwan and his team. And now, finally, Bruichladdich will probably settle down. They will have their new core range, the 10-year-old. This one is signed by Jim McEwan, by the way. Not that has anything to... I just wanted to... some name dropping there. The Tubey sign as well. Some more name dropping, Jim McEwan. What I'm trying to say is they now have their own flagship, the Laddie 10. And they will no longer be issuing all these weird ranges, all these bottlings that make your head spin. No, they will have their own true Bruichladdich new core range, which will of course soon be upholstered with maybe after the 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old, 16, 18, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So more whiskey that is produced as Bruichladdich as well is of course Port Charlotte and Octomore, which are, a different mash bill, because Octomore and Octomore and Port Charlotte are not distilleries in their own right. There used to be a Port Charlotte distillery, and there was even plans by Mark Renier to rebuild the Port Charlotte distillery. But at this moment, Port Charlotte and Octomore are also being produced at the Bruichladdich distillery. Okay, now, the new Laddie 10 signified a beginning of a new Bruichladdich era, but it also signified the end of an era, because Mark Renier and his team were bought by the Remy Cointreau group for £58 million in the summer of 2012. Bruichladdich became a distillery owned by Remy Cointreau. Now I have to stop my video for just a second because I was about to pour my whiskey, but I just saw a fly going into my glass here. So let me just get rid of this bug so that we can come to the whiskey at hand. And the whiskey at hand is one of those weird bottlings, but this one was produced exclusively for Belgium. It was a single cask, and it was a whiskey that is distilled in November 2001. Then it was recast into a rum cask, coming from a bourbon cask, into a rum cask in April 2006, and then finally it was bottled in September 2010. So we can hardly speak of a finish here. This is more of a double maturation. It was released in the distillery's micro provenance series, the Cask Evolution experiment. Let me put it that way, because Bruichladdich often speaks about it's being aced in a cask, and aced means ACE, additional cask enhanced, or additional cask evolution, whatever. It is marketing speech, and I'm sure some of the marketing boys will have gotten a bonus over finding the word ace, but it means nothing more or less than it has been matured or finished in an additional cask, another cask, in this case a rum cask. Alright then, the whiskey. It's a pale straw. It matured in a bourbon cask before it went into a rum cask. It's got a very high ABV. This was a single cask bottle at cask strength of 62.3%. It went into the cask at 71.5, so that explains that a bit. 62.3% alcohol by volume. Whew. Pale straw colour. Well, it could have fooled me. The high ABV is not very apparent on the nose. The nose is very soft and sweet, very accessible. I've got some vanilla. Well, I've got loads of vanilla actually. Even some butterscotch. And there's some floral elements as well, like buttercups and dried grasses maybe. But it is very sweet indeed. Now the rum cask, in my opinion, it translates into grapefruit and some wine gums. But it is very nice. Very nice indeed. Ooh! It's scorching hot on the palate. Not a big surprise with that ABV, but in my opinion, my delicate palate cannot cope with this. This is too harsh for me. I got a salty thing that I did not get on the nose, but I do believe to fully appreciate this, we need a bit of water. So let's add a little bit of water to this Bruichladdich rum cask. Give it a few seconds to settle. It's even got some stable scents in there now. Some hay and the good stable scents. let me add that. It is very nice actually. Now let's see if the palate is more approachable. It's still spicy, still peppery, but now at least, besides the salty tang, I again get that smooth and sweet flavor of citrus. I'm undecided whether it's grapefruit or lime, or lemon even. Well, citrus anyway, but also some, I've got some apples, some apples. Maybe again that's the rum cask, apples and citrus, and there is a smokiness underneath. I'm not saying they used peated barley because I'm pretty sure they didn't, but it does show some smokiness, which is very nice indeed. The finish is long, sweet. It's got a bit of touch like biting down on the stone of a grape, you know. There is this bitterness, and again, a nice smokiness at the very end. Well, I must say, I'm not too fond of all those weird finishes and double maturations and stuff, unless they're done well. But more often than not, they're not that very well done. But when they are well done, we should also be able to say so, and this is one of the better rum cask finishes, or double maturations in this case, that I've tried. So this Bruichladdich 8-year-old rum cask, exclusive for Belgium, is a very nice dram indeed, especially in this, well, let's call it Indian summer weather, even though it's already mid-October when I'm taping this. But it's a very nice dram indeed. And that's it for this Whisky Rambling, the Bruichladdich 8-year-old. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hope to see you again real soon at one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings. Until then, may the ball be with you. Bye-bye.